Hello students, welcome back to this session. So today in this session we are going to complete the second half of Joan of Arc. Okay, so what did we saw in the first half? That Robert was completely shocked at why Poligny is in support of John and why did he wanted a 17-18-year-old girl to fight for Oleon. Okay, so finally he decides that okay, we will let John complete the task. So they have sent John to the yard, right, in the downstairs. So then they call John up and then they ask her questions, right? Till here we had seen what happened. Now let us see further. Robert, what is your name? John. They always call me Jenny in Lorraine. Here in France, I am John. The soldier called me the maid. So she's saying that in Lorraine they used to call me Jenny, but over here in France I am John, and the servants over here called the soldiers over here calls me maid. Robert, how old are you? So John says 17. So they tell me it might be 19. I don't remember. So she's saying it might be 17. The people over here says that I'm 17-year-old, but I think so I might be 19. I'm not sure about it. Robert, I suppose you think raising a sea is as easy as chasing a cow out of a meadow. You think soldiering is anybody's job? Okay, so Robert is saying that you think raising a sea. Now, what do you mean by raising a sigh? Raising a sigh is surround. See, the meaning is given on the left side. Surround from all the sides and attack, removing the forces surrounding a place. So removing a sigh is basically attacking. So what is Robert saying to John? That do you think attacking and protecting a place is as easy is as easy as chasing a cow? That it is as easy? It is not at all easy. You think it's anybody's job? That you think anyone can do that? Robert is saying to John, I don't think so. It can be very difficult if God is on your side. So she's saying I believe in God, and I feel that if God is on my side it won't be difficult for me. Robert grimly is again seriously. Okay, have you ever seen soldiers fighting? Have you ever seen them plundering? So Robert is saying that have you ever seen any soldier fighting out there? Have you ever seen them plundering? Now what do you mean by plundering? Plundering is looting, burning, turning the countryside into a desert. Have you heard no tales of the prince who has the devil himself, or of the English king's father? So he's telling that don't you know about Britishers? Don't you know how they are, how strong they are, what kind of soldiers do they have? Don't you know that? Have you ever seen that? He's saying, Robert is saying to John, you do not understand, squaw. Our soldiers are always being beaten because they are fighting only to save their skins, and the shortest way to save your skin is to run away. So John is saying the same thing, that our soldiers are fighting to save themselves, and if they are saving themselves, now when they know कि चलो अभी मुझे खुद को बचाना है, so when someone is attacking them they run away from that place. But I will teach them all to fight for France, but I will teach them to fight for country land, not for themselves, or not to protect themselves. When they have this feeling of fighting for the countryside, they won't run away, they will fight there. Then they will drive the soldiers before them like sheep. You and Polly will live to see the day when there will be not a single English soldier on the soil of France. Okay, so she's saying that I will make the soldiers so strong that they will fight for the country land and not for themselves, and they will remove out the English soldiers. Robert to Poligny, this may all be nonsense, Polly, but the troops might just be inspired by it, though nothing that we say seems to put any fire into them. Even the dolphins might believe it, and if she can put some fight into him, she can put it to anybody. Okay, so what they are saying, that Robert is saying to Paulingi, that this may all seem nonsense, Polly, but the troops might just be inspired by it, though nothing that we say seems to put any fire into them. So what is Robert saying? The troops, the soldiers might get inspired by her because she's saying all of these things, and that is why it is making sense to them, and whatever I say is not making sense to them. Even the dolphin might believe in it, and if she can put some fight into him, she can put it to anybody. So he's saying that if she can put fight with dolphin, then she can put fight with anyone. Robert turning to John. Now, if you listen to me and don't cut in before I have time to think. Okay, so he's telling that you listen to me and don't stop me in between. Your orders are that you have to go to Chinon under the escort of this gentleman and 3 of his friends. Okay, so he's finally, Robert is ready to take John with all of these people, Paulinki and all of them. So he's telling that you have to escort of these gentlemen. Escort is accompanying someone. So he's saying that you need to go with Polly and 3 of his friends to Chinon. John, radiant, clasping her hands. Oh, thank you, squaw. Clasping is grabs or holding tightly. So she's holding his hand and saying, thank you, sir. Paulingi, how is she to get into the royal presence? So Paulingi is asking, but how she will enter the royal presence? Robert, I don't know. How did she get into my presence? Okay, so he's saying that even I don't know. I am also royal person, right? He got into my. फिर आप लोग ही देख लो कैसे उसको एंटर करना है. I will send her to Chinon and she can say I sent her. Okay, so she can go there and she can say that I have sent her. Then let come what may, I can do no more. Let come what may is let anything happen. I don't know. I am no one. John, and the dress, I may have a soldier dress. What? So she's asking, what about the dress? Robert, take what you please. I wash my hands off it. That take whatever you like. Wash my hands on it is, I am not responsible for it. You do whatever you want to do. John, wildly excited by her success. Come, Polly. She dashes out. Okay, so she goes out taking Polly with her. Robert, shaking Paulingi's hand. Goodbye, old man. I am taking a big chance. Few other men would have done it. He's saying that I've taken a big chance by sending a 17-year, 18-year John to you guys for the fight of Oleon. I'm taking a big risk. Many of them might have not done this kind of thing, but I am doing it. But as you say, there is something about her. But he's saying to Polly that since you are saying that there's something about this girl, I am letting her do that. Paulinki, yes, there is something about her. Goodbye. George Bernard Shaw, that Paulinki was firm, he was sure till the last time that there's something about her and she will do something. Okay, she will help us to find or to fight for Oleon, since the person who was about to become the king, the dolphin, is like a rat who is hiding behind, but this girl is ready to fight to the Britishers to save the France. Okay, I hope ये chapter आपको समझा हो. I tried making it as easy as possible for you all. Okay, now the question answer part is something you guys have done already in the homework, so now let us move to the workshop part. Okay, now talking about the workshop, there's this first question which is given, that read the extract, just a second, read the extract from GB Sean plays on Joan of Arc and fill the tree diagram. Okay, so they were asked you to fill the tree diagram. Out of it, the first one is setting. Okay, so setting would be into two parts. One is period and one is location. So period would be around of that time, which was 1429, and location would be New Orleans. Okay, now the scene of the given play. The scene of the given play is the army officer chamber. Now the characters. Who are the characters? The Captain Robert, John, Paulinki, and Stewart, right? And what is the main plot? The main plot is England and France were at war. It was lasted for more than 100 years. The English defeated French control took control on most of the lands. Joan, who was a peasant girl, led the French army to incredible victories. Okay, and the second one is pick two lines which prove the following. First was of her confidence, the confidence of Joan of Arc. Pick any two lines from the passage which you feel which talks about her confidence. So the first one is, you and Polly will live to see the day when there will be not a single English soldier on the soil of France. How confident he was, that she's telling that she was saying to Robert that you and Polly will live to see the day where not even a single soldier would be of English would be on France. And the second one, man, 3 men would be enough to send with me. Okay, so this is something which shows her confidence. Now the second one is her determination, so her courage. Okay, so write two sentences which you feel which talks about her courage. So the first one is, I don't need beautiful armor. I can find a soldier's armor that will fit me and which is enough for me. Okay, so this talks about her courage. The second one is, I shall not want many soldiers. She's saying, I don't want many soldiers, only few of them are enough for me. Now let us see the third one. The third one is the one which talks about her determination. So the one which talks about determination is, I will teach them all to fight for France. This talks about how sure she was, how determined she was, and they will drive the soldiers before them like sheep. Okay, so this is something which talks about her determination. Now the third one is, match the following. I have given the answers directly. As easy as chasing a cow, as mad as she is, drive the soldiers like sheep, the dauphin is like a rat in the corner, and Joan of Arc is a bit of miracle. Okay, now the fourth one, say why John wanted to meet the captain square. Okay, so John was going to do a military operation. It requires the proper order by the square. John wanted to seek order from the captain also because she needed some aid. So John wanted to meet the captain square. Okay, simple. Why did she want it? Because he was the king, right, the emperor, so she has to ask for his permission. Plus she needed some equipment, not more, but yeah, a few people, some armor. So that is why she wanted to talk to the captain. The next one, John did not ask for many soldiers from the captain's corps. So why do you think that she didn't ask for many soldiers? Why only few, like 2 to 3 people? Why? Joan was very courageous. She had tremendous faith that God was on her side. Joan thought that only 3 soldiers were enough for her to carry out the military operation. Hence, she didn't ask for many soldiers from the captain's corps. Right? Third one, Paulingi, Jack, and Dick had offered to accompany John. Why do you think that these guys were ready to offer help to John? The king was helpless. He hid himself in Chinon like a rat in a corner. Paulingi, Jack, and Dick found that there was something divine in John. According to them, John was a bit of miracle happened. Nothing would save France, so they had offered to accompany John. That they knew nothing would save John because the king was hiding like a rat. So they thought there was something about this girl, and we will help her. She was ready to fight, so we were ready to help. French soldiers were always beaten in war. They're asking, why do you think that French soldiers were always beaten in war? Because they always used to save their skin and not fight for the motherland, right? The king was absolutely coward. He himself was like a rat. The same was with the French soldiers also. Instead of fighting bravely, they ran away from the battlefield to save themselves. Hence, French soldiers were always beaten in war. Fine. Next, why do you think Captain Square Robert said, I wash my hands of it? Why do you think he didn't took the responsibility of the armor? Captain Square heard the plan of John and three soldiers. John was hardly 17 years. She was taking only three soldiers with her. John was going to fight against mighty, experienced English soldiers. It was very risky, full of dangers, and fatal. Captain Square Robert didn't want to be blamed, as he said, I wash my hands off. He didn't want it to get blamed. He knew that people would ask me, what has he done? And that is why he said, I wash my hands off. In this way, he refused to take any responsibility of the mission. Okay, now let us see next. Using a dictionary, find the difference between the following pair of phrases. Make sentence of your own. Okay, so the phrase is to cut in, to cut out. Okay, so now we have to find the meaning of that sentence. So it means interrupt someone while they are speaking. To cut in, to cut out. He said, ना please don't cut me when I'm saying this. अभी हम लोग ने देखा रॉबर्ट बोलता है ना जॉन को, don't cut me is to interrupt something when someone is saying, or suddenly stop someone to operate. Okay, now you can make your own sentence that when my mother talks with her friends, she dislikes to be cut in. That whenever she is talking with her friends, she don't like someone interrupting her. The lights cut out when I was studying. Okay, the next one, to be held up or to be held up or to be held by. To be held by is arranged or organized, and to be held up is delay or to bring a stop. To be held up, to arrange का meaning sentence देखते. The grand feast was held up by the king. The grand feast was arranged by the king. समझा? And to be held up is getting stopped or being delayed. The railways were being delayed up by the heavy rains. The railways were held up by the heavy rains. समझा? To run away means to avoid dealing with, and to run for is a problem or difficult situation. So run away का देखते. He never runs away when he faces financial problems. Run away was to avoid, so he never avoids when he faces he never avoids the situation when he faces a financial problem. And to run for is to operate. They run school for poor children. Next one, to be known as is to recognize. Kolhapur is known as Dakshin Kashi, right? And to be known for is famous or renowned. Tata is known for quality products. Okay, to go with is to agree. Black color doesn't go with blue. And to go after is to try doing something. I can't decide whether to go after the job or not. To put fire into is to inspire someone to fight. Abdul Hamid put fire into the Indian soldiers by his sacrifice. And to put fire out means to stop fire from burning. Firelighters put fires systematically. Now, sixth one, from an Indian history book or internet, find out the information about Indian women, queens who led battles. For example, Rani of Jhansi, Rani Karwadi of Mewar. Write out 3 points of similarity and 3 points of contrast between any one of the above. offended queens and write in your own words. Okay, so you can write similarities between both, like comparing with John and Rani of Jhansi. Okay, so you can write similarities. What were the similarities between, let us take an example of Rani of Jhansi. Okay, so the similarities is that both of them fight against the Britishers, right? दोनों ने ब्रिटिशर्स के लिए लड़ा. जॉन वॉज फाइटिंग देयर फॉर फ्रांस, झांसी ऑफ रानी वॉज फाइटिंग फॉर इंडिया. They lived and died for the country. Both of them sacrificed their life for countries. And third one was they both were brave, fearless, courageous, proud and determined. Okay, so these were all the similarities. Now let us talk about the contrast. कि वो दोनों किस में differ करते थे. Okay, so John was born in a poor family while Rani of Jhansi was born at rich family. John was illiterate, but she was well educated. She led France, she led India, and she was ready to take, she was dependent to take decisions, right? She has to ask the king over there. But Jhansi was independent to take decisions. Now, the last one, write a summary of the part of the script in indirect speech in 15. Okay, the grammar section we will do in the grammar part, so that us time pe we can cover up all of these questions. Okay, so yeah, I guess that was it for today's session. I hope you all have understood all of the things properly, the chapter properly. Now जहाँ से हम लोग ने स्टार्ट किया वहाँ से जो राइट साइड पे जो क्वेश्चंस थे would be something which would be your homework. Fine, so वो आप लोग मुझे homework के टाइप पे सबमिट कर देना, ठीक है? So yeah, that was it for today's session, and we will continue in the next session. Till then, bye bye and take care. Bye.